What is going on, Ape Nation? AMC is dropping in after hours, but do not be scared. This is not the time to paper hands. We are diamond handing this, and let me be clear here. We are very bullish on AMC. Nothing has changed. In this video, we're going over the synthetic shares and how institutions and hedge funds are using this to look like they are covering. And I do think this is what happened Wednesday on the data that we did get today, where about 30 million shares were covered. That is simply not the case. So do me 3 quick favors: tap, tickle, touch, or smash the like button, as well as comment down below and subscribe to the channel. We got to push this video out to as many people as possible so they don't get scared as well and start paper handing their positions. Now, with that being said, we're going to skip straight to this article that basically goes over how hedge funds and institutional investors are using long options to cover their short positions, and this is illegal or called synthetic shares. Now, it says data points, and this was from GameStop, but it is very applicable with AMC. So sorry, I'm kind of stuttering. I'm trying to get this information out fast for you guys so you don't panic in the after hours, because we are dropping pretty hard, down about 12.5% right now. So it says plummeting short interest along with plummeting GME share price, in other words, could indicate that the Reddit army is headed for the hills and the longs were selling early, giving the shorts a means to cover as the longs got out. Importantly, to note that if the long holders of GME shares did not break ranks and sell in mass, it would have been impossible for the share price to fall and hedge fund short interest to fall at the same time, because without a critical mass of long selling holders selling into the market, the hedge funds covering their shorts would have nobody to buy them from, as they bought back their short positions. The second scenario is where hedge funds short interest in GME didn't really dissipate, but instead they played a trick to make it seem like it did, demoralizing the retail side and further breaking the squeeze. From the way the hedge funds could have done this is where it gets important: made it appear as if they covered their shorts even when they really didn't. It involves trickery in the options market. The tactics involved are not a secret. In fact, the Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, knows all about such tactics and published a risk alert memo on the topic in August 2013. The SEC memo is titled "Strengthening Practices for Preventing and Detecting Illegal Options Trading Used to Reset Reg Show Closeout Obligations." The memo contains a dozen pages of highly technical language, but here's a quick rundown. If short sellers are facing a squeeze because shares are hard to buy or scrutiny for holding an illegal short position, they can create an appearance of having closed their short position through the use of deceptive options trades. A hedge fund that is short a stock can write call options on a stock, meaning that they are now short the call options, having sold the call options to someone else, typically a market maker, and simultaneously buy shares against the call options. The shares bought against the call options would be synthetic longs, meaning they are not part of the original share flow of the stock as sold to the hedge fund by the market maker that makes the other side of the options trade. This works because if a market maker buys options from an options maker, the market maker has legal privileges to do a version of naked shorting as part of the hedge function. This is necessary under the current rules and the current system for market makers to protect themselves when facilitating options trades. As a result of the above transaction, the hedge fund that sold short calls was able to buy synthetic long shares against the calls. A synthetic share is one that has a long on one side and a short on the other, but wasn't part of the original float. The synthetic long shares are the other side of the naked shorts, legally intimated by the market maker so the market maker can hedge. The hedge fund that bought the shares can now report that they have bought back their short position via buying long shares, except they actually haven't. The synthetic shares they bought are canceled out against the short call positions they initiated, a necessity of the maneuver by the way the market makers hedging of the long call position they bought from the hedge fund. It gets very complicated but fast, but the gist is that the hedge funds can use tricks to make it look like they covered their shorts, even if they haven't truly covered and can't for lack of available float, by way of exploiting loopholes. That exists due to an interplay of reporting rule delays, market maker naked shorting exceptions, and legal practices of synthetic share creation, new longs and shorts made from thin air related to market making. Below is a section of the SEC memo, page 8, that gets to the heart of it. In quotes, a trader may enter a buy right transaction consisting of selling deep in the money calls and buying shares of a stock against the call. By doing so, Trader A appears to have purchased shares to meet the broker's dealer's closeout obligation for the fail to deliver that resulting from the reverse conversion. In practice, however, the circumstance suggests that Trader A has no intention of delivering shares and is instead reestablishing or extending a fail position. In short, no pun intended, these tricks help hedge funds maintain short positions that, legally speaking, they weren't supposed to have because the shares were never properly located, which triggers alarm bells when we consider the extraordinary high amount of FTIDs failed to deliver shares. Where are the shares? And Michael Burry's now deleted tweet, viewable here, about how when he called back shares he lent out, brokerages took weeks to actually find them, with the implication they could not be located. These factors lend credence to the idea that shorts weren't really covered, but were given the impression of being converted by trickery using options. In order to cover short positions, they should have begin with because shorts were never properly located. If this is true, as in explained earlier, there are signs that indicate this. This would allow short side funds to prolongate their short positions indefinitely. This inspires a thought experiment. If funds are able to prolong their short positions with this method, wouldn't it make more financial sense for them to prolong their shorts rather than fully cover and close out their shorts at a negative 500 to negative 5,000% loss when prices were at 300 to 400 last week, and when they supposedly closed out a majority loss amount of short positions? The saying for stock goes, it's only a loss when you sell. The version for shorts would be, it's only a loss if you close out your short positions. So long story short, they are using synthetic shares and the options market to buy these calls and make it look like they actually close out of their positions to drive down the short interest. And I do imagine that is what happened. And as you just said right there, or seen right there, it's not a loss until you sell. And hedge funds, they are not going to want to take this kind of loss, especially given the fact they have not actually covered, and there is a massive short squeeze that is going to happen. Now, the bad thing about this, it could take a very long time to get to the bottom of what actually happened. Back during GameStop and AMC, we still don't know for certain what actually happened, how many synthetic shares there were. We know there was, because obviously there was more shares in GameStop that were actually supposed to be there. So we do know this is happening, and I would expect this is happening with AMC. It is really an ego battle. So long story short, with everything being said, there are synthetic shares here. Even if you see the short interest go down in AMC, that is simply not the case. The apes are not selling. We have the evidence here. Even if a small percentage of them are, there is still not enough shares that are on the open market that are being sold then institutions would have to be able to cover these short positions. So with everything being said, all in all, I do think this is going on, and I would not panic when you see us dropping in after hours now to $42.61. Nothing to panic about, guys. This is nothing to panic about. Sorry for the stuttering. I just wanted to get this video out to as many people as possible that need to hear this, because we have synthetic shares going on, and do not panic. I know I've said that a couple of times, but I am not panicked. I own a ton of shares and I'm holding my position. I do think our bottom is about here. So with that being said, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel and comment down below. Push this video out to as many people as possible. And long story short, synthetic shares are the reason that the short interest does look like it is going down for Wednesday. So I will see you guys later. Until the next video, share this with your friends, whoever you want, but see you guys later.